I'm gonna share something with y'all about the Hyundai machine that I have learned. Well, a couple things I've learned about it. They're built like tanks. If you're looking for a machine, don't hesitate to get one. I mean, they're now the minis. I don't know about the larger ones. I have no idea about them, but these things right here are built like tanks. There's no doubt about it. When I first got this machine, and let me state this too, I'm not in any way affiliated with Hyundai or Taylor Equipment at all. Sure, Hyundai came, they wanted to do a video with me and all that. I said, that's fine. If y'all want to do a video, we'll do a video. And so they came, did a video. They invited me to go to their operator thing that they got coming up. I think it starts tomorrow, I believe, or while y'all are watching this video, it'll be today. And I couldn't go over there to Georgia to make it to it and everything, so I declined that offer to do it. But again, I'm not affiliated with them at all. So anywho, as soon as I got this machine, I started looking in the computer and looked in the owner's manual, and I couldn't find anything in there on how to like lock the oil flow on the auxiliary to where it would constantly stay on by hitting a button on it. So I thought, well, I'll deal with that later. I knew I was going to end up getting a mulcher head for it, you know, and I was like, I'll cross that bridge whenever I get to it. Surely there's a way in this thing that you can lock the oil flow constantly on to the head down there. At least that was my thoughts. My Kubota, you can. I know tons of other machines. Derek's Bobcat, you can. Glenn's KX080, you can. You know, pretty much all machines out there. So got to head, got to messing with it. I called Slade. I said, Slade, I said, I need to find out how to lock the oil flow constantly on. He said, well, man, he said, we sold some mulchers here recently on some bigger machines than this and smaller. And he said, you can't do it. And I said, are you kidding me? He said, no. I said, well, what do they do? And he said, well, the guys are just holding the button down over here while they're running it and on the thumb. And I'm like, well, you're supposed to plumb it in to where you work it off the hammer circuit right there, which that's your hammer right there. And so I said, that's not gonna work. He said, we gonna get with Hyundai and try to figure something out. I said, okay. So anyhow, me and Kevin were out here the other night and we were talking about it, and I said, well, you know, if you got power up in the stick right there and this is just a momentary button, when you mash it on, all we need to do is just get constant hot over there on the side going out, and I'll have power, you know, it'll stay on. So we pulled this joystick apart over here and found the wires that went on here, and this is just a momentary switch is all it is. When you hold it in, it excites the wire, and technically don't excite it, but it completes a circuit on it. So we were going to figure out which side was constant hot. Well, I had a test light hooked right here. He was sitting in the seat and had the machine running with the thing flipped up right there. Well, when I touched over there, one side it didn't show anything. Well, when I touched the other side, as soon as I did, the grapple started closing. And I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, I said, it don't work off of hot. I said, it's working off of ground is what it is. I said, so all we got to do is just complete the ground on the other side over there. And he said, yeah. He said, that'll work. So what we did was this right here. Is I use these switches on a lot of different things. It's just a momentary switch. Well, it's not a momentary, but it locks on. See, it's on right there, and then it's off. So all we did was come off one side over here, and we come up to here, and we completed it where it would go to ground. So we did that, and when you activate this thing now, all I gotta do is hit that, and it keys it up, and it's running. You ain't gotta hold on to the button or nothing like that. So I sent that to Slade. I sent him a video of it. He said, how'd you do that? I said, well, you're gonna have to write me a check, man, for me to tell you how I did that. So I'm gonna show y'all how it works. We're gonna crank this thing up. I did tell Slade, I said, you cannot outsmart a redneck. That's a fact. Let's clear that screen right there. Let's activate our pilot system and everything. So we got that going. All right, so right now, if you hit this button right there, nothing happens. If I were to hit this, which would be your thumb or your grapple open and close, you see it starts to move it out there. But you don't want to run it off at, because you can't lock this on right here. So you put it over here in hammer mode, flip that, that puts it in hammer mode. Now when you hit this button right here, the momentary, it'll start the rotor out there on it. See that? When you hit this, you can hit it. But when you let off of it, it's gonna stop, right? So you gotta sit there and hold it, but not anymore. So now if you just press this in and see, let it go, see it's running out there. Now the door on it will not work unless you've got oil going to it like it is right now. So if there's no oil flow going out there to it, the side door will not open and close. I'm gonna go ahead and close it just in case it happens to sling something out of it. It'll deflect and go straight at the floor rather than flying across the shop over there. So one thing you got to be mindful about these things. They ain't no joke. They can sling some stuff, and that's a cool thing about it is this opposite from the way that you're setting right here. So everything that's going to slings left and right out of it out there. So see, it's on, and then just hit that and cut it off. Somebody in the comments said something about wondering about if I could track while it's on or not. They said they had a machine that couldn't do it. And somebody replied to their comment and said this machine had an extra pump on it. This machine does not have an extra pump on it for the auxiliary. This machine, when you track it, it will pull away from, because the tracks and the boom is going to take priority on these machines. And it is going to affect it a little bit. If you go back and you listen to the video, you'll hear the rotor, but it don't affect it a whole lot at all. You can still, like in the video that was yesterday, I never turned the rotor off. I ran it the whole time with it on. But so you can hit that right there. This machine also, it's on just regular, it's like a economy mode right now. When you flip that right there and you put it over on power, on P, it gives you about 200 more RPMs out of the machine is what it does. So that's an idle right there. So I'll show you here. We're at 940 RPMs, and that's on the engine. I'll crank it all the way up to wide open. See, it's at 1860 on the RPMs. And whenever I hit this, it's gonna go up to a little over 2,000. It should pull on up. It'll get up about there it is, 220. Now she's humming now. And it's not, look, the head is not moose. I can't feel anything in the cab. It's like silk out there right now. That's how smooth that thing is. The Sheer-X, it all goes back to you get what you pay for. And that is a battered the bone head. That head comes in like 1,100 something pounds without the lugging on it. So it's not no Mickey Mouse head. I mean, it's well built and it's heavy. See all the air blowing over there? That thing's pushing some air, man. So like when I'm moving the boom, I can hear it taking away from the rotor a little bit, but it ain't affecting it a lot. The only way that you'll notice it is if you're in something big, if you go to move and you're in a pretty good full cut, you'll notice it then pretty good. But if you're in smaller stuff, say 2, 3, 4 inch stuff, it's just gonna eat right through it. It's all it's gonna do. But again, that right there, so I got it sitting right there, my hands right here on the joystick, and then just reach right here, hit it. See, it shot up to 2080 right there, 2100, or I can come back, put it right there, picks right back up. So if you do have a Hyundai, don't freak out. It's easily to be able to bypass it. Very, very simple. I like this machine a lot better than the Kubota. There's several things on it that I like a lot better than the Kubota. Number one, when you arm this, your aux is always on. You never have to hit anything else in the computer. And I've got the, so you've got, let's go right here. So your aux flow right there, and then you got breaker flow. See, I got it set to wide open right there. I can run it from 5 down to 1 right there, whatever I want to put on it. And there's all my data for my temperatures and everything right there. The hottest I got this thing up to today was in that video. It was 160 something degrees on the hydraulic side was all. But like I said, that thing is just as smooth as can be. I'll do this. I've got almost 160 hours on the machine now is what I've got on it. And I ain't tightened a line on it. I ain't had one leak on it yet. And I hadn't on the Kubota either. Now one thing this thing does have too is it's got a crazy cooling package on it. Cooling package is what it takes to run this aux stuff. And if you're doing a lot of tracking, you got to have a good cooling package on these machines. A lot of times on the smaller machines, they don't have as much room, they don't have as much oil flow, and you're just working them a lot harder, and they're harder for them to stay cool and keep that hydraulic oil temperature down. Because rule of thumb, like pretty much about 180 degrees on hydraulic oil temperature, like on the Tiger Cat stuff and everything, you're pretty much pinging it right there at 180. The warning light's going to come on at 180 on, say, the Tiger Cat stuff, and you know, this one may make it run a little bit hotter than that. But like I said, today I was feeding it the beans today, and I was in the 160s on it. And of course I keep my stuff clean. This is what it sucked up in it today right here. That's the air conditioner condenser right there. But you can see the cooling package is from right here all the way to right here. That's a solid huge square right there. That's gonna have your oil cooler, your radiator, all that stuff's gonna be sitting right here in this area. And what it does is it sucks in through this screen right here, and even at an idle over here, it pushes out right here. I mean, it'll be blowing stuff way over here, just the air coming off of it. When it's running wide open, when I'm turning, I can see like leaves and stuff on trees flapping 20-25 feet away from me. I have changed the oil in it one time. I changed it 139. I did that the other day. I got a video on that. I just have not posted it yet, but I am very happy with the machine. Again, I just want to say again, I am not affiliated with them at all, either one of them. And also, yep. And it did take me a little while to wire that head up, because I'm OCD on stuff, man. I just am not gonna have stuff like hanging and dangling and everything, and it just takes a little bit more time to do it and do it right, do it properly. And so I just got it all, you know, got it all fixed up really nice. This is where the wire comes down right there. It comes down through here. It comes through here. I made a hole through this. There's a rubber bracket in there. I made a hole for it to go through there and go through. Goes in here, and then it shoots across. There is a hole. You can take this cover off right here. There's actually a double hole right here through this plate, and then there's another one. This is another main support piece that goes through, and run the wire through there. And this thing's kind of cool. It's got belly pans all up under it, but it's also got 2 pans in here that you can take out that's under this floor mat. There's one large one that goes all the way to about right there, and then there's another small one over there on that side. And you can run it and you can get all the way around back over here by your pilot lines. This is one of the best built machines I've run just ever since I was about 12 years old. That's all I've done is run heavy equipment, tractors, big trucks. I've had CDL since 1993. And there's no telling how many different machines that I've run in my life and how many hours I've put on them. You know, my log loader in the woods, you know, when I got out of it, I had over 22,000 hours on that machine when I retired from logging. And my other loader that I had like 17,000 something on it when we bought the track loader. And then the tree cutters, I went through 3 bell tree cutters, 2 sawhead cutters, and then the skidders, everything, the dozers, all that stuff like that. So I've been in a lot of different machines. I've seen a lot of different builds on things, and like the cab on this thing is crazy. One of the best cabs I've ever sat in is the way it's set up, the ergonomics on it, the way the air conditioner and heating and cooling works on it is crazy. I mean, it's just, I'm very, very happy with it. Seals up good. You can't hardly hear the rotor out there running on that thing, man, on the X when you're inside of it, nor the darn chipper. Can't hear it either. I gotta wash it, man. It was bad dusty out there today. So anyhow, I just wanted to share that about the Hyundai, so that if you didn't know, you do now. And it would be nothing for Hyundai to fix it like that. And I'm not sure how they missed that, because they so many like constant on flow things that run off these machines. And you know, if you're running a jackhammer, I can see it, you know, because you're just going to be on for 10 to 15 seconds at the most, like hammering concrete and stuff, and that's pretty much going to be it. But like on something this right here, you may run it for an hour or 2 or longer, you know, just constant the whole time. So I bet they'll figure out a fix for it and everything. They'll probably build it into the system there. I'm more than positive that they will probably do that. So anyhow, if they don't, there's your fix for it right there. So I hope y'all enjoyed that little informational video. I appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.